welcome back to the Lingerie Society YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share a new product with you. You may have seen in the shops, sometimes you buy seam-free knickers and there's no picot, there's no fold over elastic on the edge. It just is a folded edge, but it somehow still stretches. What's inside that folded edge is iron-on elastic. Now it comes by the meter, and basically when you buy it, it has the paper on one side. You iron your elastic to one side, you fold over your edge and you iron it again after peeling away the paper. So I haven't actually used it yet. This is a new product for us. It's something that we haven't been able to buy in Australia commercially yet. We were able to find it overseas, so I'm going to give it a go. This is the first time I'm using it, so we're going to learn together. I'm going to cut out a quick pair of knickers. I've got some of our Liberty swim here that I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut them out and we'll give it a go. I've just got a little sample piece of my fabric, and you'll see on the, I don't even know what to call this, iron-on elastic. The shiny side is going to be your first side that you iron down. So you don't want to touch the adhesive elastic with your iron. And I'm just going to line it up with the edge of my fabric. I've got my iron on a silk setting, which is probably a little bit high for this, but we'll see how we go. Just for a time factor, I want this to be pretty quick for you guys. Okay. Needs a bit more heat. This reminds me of applique, if you've ever used Fix for applique. Similar sort of idea. Iron one sticky side down, peel your paper off, then iron the other sticky side down. See if it's... Oh. Yes, we have success. Okay, so that's our paper off, and you probably can't see it here because the elastic itself is so fine. Okay, and then we're just simply going to fold over the width of the elastic and press. And that's actually really easy to fold over that width. The elastic makes it really easy. Let's see. So I think this is going to be really great for a lot of things in lingerie making. Probably most obvious is the seam-free knickers, which I really love. You know, you don't get those lines under your clothing. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is actually amazing. Wow, guys, look how neat that finish is on the edge. And then on the inside, you've just got your cut fabric fused with your elastic, and you maintain the stretch. Wow. This stuff is awesome. Okay, I'm excited. All right, so what was in my head when I was thinking about how I'm going to use this is that your order of assembly is going to be important here. So you're going to have to think about what you should sew first when you're using the adhesive elastic, which I mean, you have to think about that all the time anyway. So what I decided was that I would sew my crutch seam, then I will iron my elastic onto my leg seams and finish those. Then I will sew up one side seam and iron my elastic onto the waist, then sew up my other side seam. I haven't done this before. This is the first time I've used this, so maybe that'll work, maybe it won't. Come along with me for the ride. My other question is, how is it going to go around curves? I feel like I'm going to have to manipulate the fabric because this doesn't stretch when the paper's on it. So I guess I'm going to start with the straight section and manipulate the fabric to move with the elastic. If that makes sense. The other thing is going to be catching my gusset lining in with it all. And is that going to work when I've got the other? As I said, I'm doing this for the first time. I don't know if this is going to work because I've got that extra layer with my gusset lining. Look, we'll just give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? So I think this adhesive elastic is going to be great for lots of different things. Maybe I should have cut that gusset lining back a bit. I wonder if it's all going to stick, or if it's just going to stick the gusset lining, isn't it? Okay, this is taking a while, so I might finish this, try and think about my gusset lining situation, and come back to you. Okay, so I've figured out my gusset lining issue. What you're going to need to do is make sure you iron your elastic onto your outer fabric and that your gusset lining is cut away a little bit narrower so that when you fold over, you encase it, but your elastic is ironed to your outer fabric. I feel like that should have been obvious, but you know, this is my first time using this. As I said, we'll be learning together. So then I'm just going to iron down my edge. Ooh. I was trying to think of what else I would use this for. And I can't think off the top of my head, but I feel like it'll be one of those things that when I'm sewing, I'll think, oh, I know, the iron-on elastic. It just gives such a neat finish and doesn't add any bulk, which, you know, when you're sewing delicate fabrics for lingerie, that's exactly what you want. I am loving this stuff. Okay, I'm going to finish pressing this, and then my iron doesn't like me, and then I'm going to sew up a side seam and do my waistband, not my waistband, but my waist in the same fashion, and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so I'm doing the waist now, which is obviously a lot easier because it's straight. Getting around the curves of the legs was a little bit of an issue, but because you're working with a stretch fabric, it's really easy to manipulate it and make it go where you want it to go. So don't try and make the elastic go where you want it to go, because it won't stretch with the paper on it. Just move your fabric to work with the elastic. So I've just opened up my side seam there. Just going to trim that off because I don't want to iron it to my ironing board. If you've got any ideas of how you could use this, pop it in the comments below, because I feel like this is just going to be a game changer for so many applications. I'm excited to start using it in my lingerie making. Just really reminds me of applique. Isn't it cool, the things that people come up with? Iron on elastic. How cool is that? Now, I make a lot of wired bras, but often I don't make as many knickers because I really like the seam-free ones. They're so comfortable. They don't give you any visible lines under your clothes. Well, now I can have seam-free ones to match all my bras, instead of just having black or nude or white. Now I can have all the lovely prints. And I know that my teenage girls are going to want some of these too, because they really love the seam-free as well. Okay, so that's almost all pressed. I'm going to sew up my final side seam and we'll see what we end up with. Voila! Seam-free knickers! I'm so happy with how these turned out. I cannot believe how well this iron-on elastic works. This is amazing. I will pop the link to the elastic below and let me know how you go. This stuff is awesome. All right, well, we've found another new product. Thanks again for watching the Lingerie Society YouTube channel. We'll see you again soon.